What led you to choosing Eastern Michigan?
The coaching staff reached out to me early, Coach Creighton and Coach Chestnut as well. I'm pretty big on, loyalty, and, that really struck a chord with me. So I've been talking to those guys ever since, and that led me to committing. I love the culture here. The staff obviously as well. The guys are awesome as well. The tight end room is awesome. So, I'm very happy with my decision.
Did you know anything about Eastern Michigan? What did you know before the first contact?
Not too much. I've heard of Ypsilanti. I didn't really know much about Michigan really at all, to be honest with you. So
Had you been to Michigan before you
I have
committed?
not. No.
Or even so you'd been all around and it just decided Ypsi was the place to be.
Yeah. I came on my visit. I meshed well with the tight ends here. Took a liking to Coach Chestnut. I think it was mutual. So, that played a big part in my decision. Yeah.
What's it like playing for Coach Chestnut so far?
It's awesome. Coach Chestnut, he can get a little fired up sometimes. Obviously, we haven't really practiced yet, but it's been awesome so far, just learning from that guy. He was a former wide receiver coach, so getting that aspect of that coaching, his coaching style, his coaching points, the tips that he gives is very nice. So, yeah.
As a guy who started his career on defense, then transitioned to offense at UConn, what's been the biggest change for you you've had to do both physically and mentally to get your body ready to play tight end?
Yeah, it was tough. The change was very tough mentally, probably more mentally, to be honest. I went from playing my freshman year to not playing at all my sophomore, which was very hard. But it's very. I would say switching to offense is a lot more mental than you might think. As a tight end, you pretty much have to know everything that the quarterback knows, in my opinion, without obviously the actual job itself. So it's really about just learning your playbook, creating those, good habits on the field, it's a lot of mental.
What's the biggest change from going to be the guy leveling the hit to the guy worrying about taking one as you go across the middle?
The biggest change? I don't know. I'm going to be honest here. I feel like delivering the hit would be a lot better. I kind of miss that aspect. I'm not going to lie.
I could say, you think back to the days where you were trying to track somebody down and just level them out?
Yeah, that was really fun. I do miss it, but yeah, I don't know.
How'd you get your start in football?
I started back in elementary school. I saw some of my buddies who I still talk to today playing Pee-wee with the Warhawks, which was my team. And I decided to try it out. My mom was really hesitant, but I stuck with it up until high school, and I really enjoyed it. I'm a pretty low-mannered guy, but when I'm on the field, I can release, that other side of me that I keep away, I guess. I don't know.
Growing up in Maryland, what were some of your hobbies? What did you enjoy doing as a kid that you really kind of still even maybe carry on to this day?
Yeah, I was always big into sports. I played every single sport you can think of, except probably hockey. But yeah, I was really big into sports. I really spent, my fall, summer, winter, every season doing at least one sport. So those were kind of my hobbies. I like to be outside as well, biking, stuff like that when I was younger. It was really just sports my whole life, to be honest.
Maryland, everybody thinks of either Crab or kind of like Old Bay. What are we putting that on a bunch of things? What are we feeling?
I wish I had a picture. I literally have an Old Bay seasoning little tin on my desk, so I'll just sprinkle some of that before I eat. Yeah, I love Old Bay and seafood as well.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever put Old Bay on?
Eggs. That's not too weird, actually. Probably just a sandwich. I'm not too freaky with that kind of stuff.
Okay, so just like ham or turkey and you're sprinkling them on.
Yeah.
it's acquired taste of your teammates got? Have you tried converting some of them into it? Yeah.
No, I haven't. I did try. Is it weird to talk about UConn? Probably. No.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I did try at my former school, because in Connecticut they kind of have some seafood as well, but
Yeah, not the same kind of seafood here.
not
I
at all. No.
guess you could put it on some wings, maybe, right?
Yeah, wings. Yeah, Old Bay wings are very good. The dry rub. I love Old Bay wings. Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to in this year and an opportunity for you to be at a new place and kind of leave your mark in a tight end room that's kind of wide open?
Yeah, I honestly really want to be like a leader to the tight end room. Being the oldest guy in the room is a huge responsibility. So, I'm trying to, show them the way, or, be an example that someone they can look up to. They, look at me at any time and be like, okay, that kid's, doing this or something. He's a well-seasoned kind of vet, I guess. Just be that example for the guys is something I really, really want to do. And also I want to, go to the league, be a great teammate, stuff like that.
If you were saying you were comparing yourself to somebody, who would you say you play like?
I'm a little biased in this, but I would say Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, he's a very good blocking tight end, which he doesn't get enough credit for. But he's also, obviously a stud receiving tight end as well. I strive to be both of those, the best of both worlds. But he's also, if you kind of watch him, he's a very low-mannered guy. He doesn't really talk a lot. He doesn't really, talk trash on the field, stuff like that, which I, kind of relate to as well. So Mark Andrews is, a huge, figure that I look up to.
Eastern's got some unique traditions and things that they do on game day. How are you looking forward to the first time with the cinder block wall or the wrench or any of those things that maybe you haven't quite seen before?
No, I'm really looking forward to it. We work out on that field every day, and we pass by that cinder block wall, and I'm just, I'm kind of itching and, be one of the guys that's going to run through it or even knock it down, hopefully. I'm super excited about that. But the traditions here are awesome. Coach Creighton is very big on that kind of stuff. He's like very inclusive with, his fans, the team aspect as well. Those are, some of his priorities, which I really appreciate. So,
when you think about September 6th, the first time there will be an opportunity to run out on Max Crosby Field under the lights, what makes your heart beat a little faster thinking about that opportunity to play at home for the first time?
I'm excited. I'm so excited. What makes my heart beat faster is probably knowing it's going to be my last first game run out, my last season. I'm just excited to get on the field. I get butterflies thinking about being on the field, in an actual game setting. So I guess that would be the answer to that. Yeah.